everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Achua and I hope this video finds you well. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support and welcome back. It looks like a lot of people are new to Middle Eastern fragrances, and I'm here with a curated list to help you out. If you are sort of lost, you don't know where to start from because it can be very overwhelming, I'm here to give you recommendation based on fragrances I have tried and tested. None of these fragrances is new to my collection with the exception of one fragrance which is about some few weeks old. The rest I have had for months if not for years, and in this video I have categorized them into about 7 fragrance families. As time goes on, we might be building on these fragrances. So in each category, I have 2 fragrance options. I didn't want to just come and say, get this one, and then that would be it. I just want to give you some options so that at least if you have some sort of scent preferences, you might go with that. And I'm going to start off with the spices. I just want to give you a sense of how some of these fragrances make me feel, and then if that sounds good to you, you might go with that. So I'm going to start off with Nasheet by Lattafa, which is quite a spicy, uplifting, fresh fragrance with a heavy Gaiac wood or woody base. It is quite woody, but it doesn't come across as super masculine to me at all. It is very, very unisex to me. It has that bright, uplifting kick to it. It's supposed to be a dupe for Niche Annie, but I think this one is less vanillic as compared to the OG Annie. What I find endearing about Nasheet is the fact that although it is spicy, it can be worn in the high heat. It is not like those super spicy fragrances that you need the cold weather to wear them. It is quite uplifting, quite fresh, and it also has a kick to it because of that ginger, or what I perceive to be that ginger. It is not overwhelming at all. It is also very sweet, so it gives you that sweetness, something quite mass appealing, something that a lot of people are going to appreciate. It's going to be soft on the nose. It's not going to be too much. It is very Western in nature. It doesn't have any Middle Eastern touch or woody touch to it, so very mass appealing, very likable. So if you want to start right, something with a kick yet not offensive, I would say go for Nasheet by Lattafa. In the same category, I'm going to recommend Al Noble Ameer by Lattafa. I don't really talk about this fragrance that much, just because I have Ish Al Shuyuk Gold, and I sort of feel like that one is a bit more spicy as compared to this. They give you that sort of Resendo Mato number 5 feel, but I find this one less spicy as compared to the Ish Al Shuyuk Gold. It is not boring, it is not underwhelming. You get that kick of the spice in this one, but it's sort of controlled in a very beautiful way. There is a beautiful clove the ones I get in Ameer. It is very beautiful, very soft, very soothing. It has a very balsamic sort of quality as compared to that rich resonance thick Ish Al Shuyuk Gold. They are quite the same or very similar, but this one seems much more wearable to someone who is quite new to Middle Eastern fragrances. It will give you the spice, but it's sort of nurturing you or opening up your nose bag, or your nose to receive something much more spicy. So between those two, I wouldn't say choose one over the other. They are both, different fragrances altogether. They don't smell alike in any way. They are beautiful on their own, but I'm just giving you these 2 options for you to make, very narrowed down, curated choices. I move on to the fruit, and in this category I'm going to talk about, or I'm going to recommend Dolores by Fragrance World and then Khair Fusion by Paris Corner. I chose these 2 fragrances to give you some very opposing options. When it comes to Dolores, it is a very dark, woody, fruity fragrance, whilst this one is very uplifting, very fresh and girly. They are all fruity fragrances, but everybody has what they gravitate towards. If you feel you like ultra feminine, girly, sweet fragrances, then I would say go for Khair Fusion by Paris Corner, because this is going to give you a very sweet lychee rose raspberry scent. It's very sweet, it feels slightly young, slightly young. If you want something quite playful, quite flirty, quite mass appealing, something that is going to be an easy grab, I would say just go for Khair Fusion. On the other hand, if you like fruity fragrances but you still are not into overly sweet fragrances, but you want something quite darker, quite seductive, quite a little more serious than fun, then I would say go for Dolores by Fragrance World. Although this one is super fruity, it also has a woody base to it, you know, which makes it quite less sweet. It doesn't necessarily come across as like ultra sweet as compared to Khair Fusion. However, it is still going to give you that very dark plum, you know, it has a plum, and that is what essentially is going to give you, coupled with that woody background. It is quite woody as opposed to this one, which is very, you know, sweet. These are both beautiful fragrances. They take different directions altogether. So if you feel you are more of that femme fatale, you know, more matured person, then I would say go for Dolores. On the other hand, if you feel you are young at heart, you want something quite flirty and mass appealing and, you know, girly, then I would say go for Khair Fusion by Paris Ceasar. In my opinion, freshies are a must-have, although you might gravitate towards, you know, beastly, strong, overpowering your face sort of fragrances. I feel there are certain times that you want to just dial it back, take it easy, cool off, get something quite simple. Then I think freshies will be the way to go. And in this category, I have Vibrant Vertiver Delight by Paris Ceasar, which is a very simple yet very effective, cooling, soothing lime and lemon fragrance for the most part. It doesn't come across as, you know, too earthy. Even with the vetiver, it doesn't come across as that, you know, in any way. It is very refreshing. The lime, the lemon, you know, with some sweet, it feels like it could have some sugar. It is very sweet, very gentle. It has a cooling effect on you. On the other hand, I have Mayar Natural Intense by Lattafa. This is a very beautiful scent. The only reason why I don't have a full bottle is the fact that I have something which is quite similar, and that is going to be Aqua di Joa. They are quite similar, but not like the same to me. You know, this one is much more of that fig, you know, fig and melon prominent. To me, it has a cooling effect, you know, it has this sort of, you know, spa-like sort of effect on me. It is very beautiful, gentle, something that you can, you know, easily throw on. You don't really have to think about anything, you know, you can just easily grab and go. Sometimes when the weather is very hot, you just want something to just calm you down, cool you off, you know, give you a very soothing effect. And that is what Mayar Natural Intense and then Vibrant Vertiver Delight, that is what they essentially do to me. They are both very beautiful. They have a little touch of sweetness to them, especially the Vibrant Vertiver Delight. Mayar also has Natural Intense, has a little sweetness to it, you know, with the vanilla in the mask, but they seem very, you know, gentle, very soothing. So if you want something more aquatic, fresh floral, I would say go for Mayar Natural Intense. And if you want something more of that lime, lemony, sweet feel, then I would say go for Vibrant Vertiver Delight. But these are very amazing fragrances to start with. The next category I have here is going to be that ultra feminine woman. If you can describe yourself as ultra feminine, these two fragrances are going to be for yours. You know, any of them is going to make you feel that, you know, ultra feminine. And in this category, I have Reyna by Alhambra and then Infini Max by Alhambra. And these two fragrances come across as ultra feminine to me. They are also totally different, you know, from each other. This one gives me something very creamy, very gentle orange blossom. It has that orange blossom and some bergamot, you know, which gives it like a citrusy freshness at the beginning, coupled with that very delicious marshmallow and whipped cream and vanilla. It feels like quite fluffy, you know, something that you wear pink, you know, a pink dress or a pink shoe or a pink handbag, and you put this fragrance on you. It just goes with that whole theme of, you know, Barbie, pink, soft feminine woman. On the other hand, Infini Rose is also a very beautiful rose scent, you know, very delicious bergamot or candied bergamot with rose. That is what essential it is. It is delicious, it is very soft. The rose in this one doesn't seem dated at all. It feels very modern, you know, very modern, very wearable. It is not too much. It feels a little powdery with that spicy candied bergamot. It is beautiful, you know. It is not overwhelming at all. To me, one of the best things I love to do is to layer these two fragrances together. I layer them together and it is super ultra feminine, very beautiful. Honestly, the deliciousness play of each other, that gourmand aspect of this one coupled with that powdery nuance of this one, you know, they play off each other and they blend in seamlessly, creating something ultra feminine, ultra sexy. You know, when you put these two together, it becomes like a very sexy, sensual fragrance. On their own, I don't find this one as ultra sexy. You know, Reyna, I don't find ultra sexy. I find very sensual. maybe this one I would say it's quite sexy, you know, but when you blend them together, they feel like ultra sexy. They play off each other. Between these two, I wouldn't know which one to pick, you know. I wouldn't say go for Infini Rose or go for Reyna. They are both very beautiful, yet very different fragrances, you know, from each other. If you are into rose powdery fragrances, sweet fragrances, I would say go for Infini Rose. And if you want a very feminine, whipped cream, lactonic, you know, creamy fragrance, I would say go for Reyna by Alhambra. I knew I had to bring in the sexy category at some point, and in this category I have one fragrance I currently have in my collection. The other I do not have, but I have like the original version of it, which is going to be Tharwa Gold. I don't have Tharwa Gold, but I have tried it like countless number of times, and anytime I try it, I love it. However, I have Lib, the YSL original Lib in my collection, and if I didn't have that fragrance, I think I would have gone for Tharwa Gold, because that is a very sensual, sexy lavender with a heavy dose of vanilla. I think the only difference I find between the EDP YSL Lib that I have and the Tharwa Gold is the fact that that one has like an additional dose of vanilla. On the other hand, I have Deux by Afnan, a very dark berry fragrance, you know, forward with some cherries, some strawberries, you know, and I think some raspberries, and it's reported to have some dark chocolate. I don't get a lot of dark chocolate in it. However, it is still dark, you know, there's something quite dark, sexy, sensual about this fragrance. It feels like some very overripe dark berries. That is the vibe I get in this one. Very delicious, you know, and come hither. So between this one and then Tharwa Gold by Lattafa, these are both amazing fragrances, very affordable. Whether you want to be in the house to snuggle up or you want to go out, these two fragrances are not going to be offensive, you know, although they are like quite, you know, strong. They are also going to be very seductive, especially if you use it in the right quantity. Let me give you some very affordable vanilla gourmand fragrances, and in this I'm going to give you Metalico by Paris Ceasar, and then Choco by Rehab, you know, very affordable. And the bottle is also very simple, quite small, that you can, you know, easily throw in your bag. Why not? You know, why not Choco Max? If you have performance issue, let this one macerate for about 4-5 months, you know, at least 4-5 months. You can just buy like 2 bottles, spray them out and let it macerate and go back to it, and it's going to get a little more better, you know. Even scent profile wise, it's going to change. It's going to get much more intense, much more vanillic, much more gourmand or delicious. This is very beautiful, you know, very affordable too. Between these two fragrances, you know, I love them both. This one will give you something quite unique, you know, that sort of, you know, aldehydic, vanillic, floral, you know, vibe. It is so sensual, very sexy to me, you know, and I love that delicious ice cream vanilla vibe this one has. And when you layer these two together too, they are phenomenal. If you have the budget for it, I would say why not, you know. But between these two, you can just go for any of these ones, you know. They're going to make an impression. This one is going to make the most impression, you know, that is the truth. This one is going to make the most impression because this one, you know, fills up a room. It's quite loud, quite noticeable because it is quite different, whilst this one seems a little generic. But I mean, for the price you're paying for, and I always emphasize on the price you're paying for, about $3 or $4 from where I live, or sometimes even less depending on the exchange rate. Come on, you can just pick this one, you know, up. You can just stack it up. And Choco Max, as you may be aware, or if you are not aware, is great for layering too. So I would highly recommend these two vanillas or gourmand vanillas if you are starting out. The next category is going to be that special occasion. I know a lot of us do not have like a lot of places to go, but once in a while you get that somewhere special that you want to really make an impression. And for that, I'm going to recommend Caesar by FA Paris, and then Soliel de Ombre, Jacques by Fragrance World. I call Caesar the coat of many colors because I cannot even describe how amazing this one is. It has every single note you can think about. It is earthy, it is gourmand, it is sweet, it is woody, it is, you know, Arabic sort of, you know, smelling. It is also Western smelling. It's like the coat of many colors. It has every single thing, which make it very unique. I feel like I need to be dressed up, you know, probably in an all black or like, you know, navy color, something that gives me like that makes me feel like, you know, I'm important, or I'm going to have something important. That is the vibes Caesar by FA Paris gives me. It feels more dressed up than every day. So if you want something for every day, which is also very affordable, I would say go for Caesar by FA Paris. Soliel de Ombre Jacques on the other hand gives me very similar vibes. I don't see it as an everyday fruity, girly, floral fragrance, you know, in any way. It comes across as quite formal in a way, also very beautiful, very unisex in my opinion, but you need to love ouds, you know. It feels very woody, a hint of that oud, but it doesn't come across as animalic, you know, in my opinion. But it feels like very black tie, very dressed up. It doesn't come across as something I wear white, you know, like an all white ensemble and rock Soliel the Ombre Jacques Yves. It feels like very high-end, polished, you know, something that you need to at least elevate your appearance before, you know, it can make some sense, you know, if you get what I mean. So that is going to be special occasions, Soliel the Ombre Jacques Yves by Fragrance World, and then Caesar by FA Paris. These two are phenomenal. Between these two, you can get any of them. These two will be my top picks for any man watching this who wants to really start out, you know, but not become so boring. And I'm going to start off with Attic by Junaid. This is super beautiful, you know. If you have ever come across the fragrance Casablanca or even Egba by Swiss Arabian, but you feel it is like very feminine and you cannot wear it, try Attic by Junaid. It is in the same sort of, you know, family, but this one is much more woody, much more masculine leaning. It is a gourmand fragrance for men, but make it much more spicy and much more woody. And that is when you get Attic by Junaid. This is beautiful for date night, for when you want to make some statements, when you want to really impress, you know, like a partner, you know, any sort of, you know, black tie event. I'm going to highly recommend Attic by Junaid. Also, if you want something for the everyday, something that is going to make you feel fresh, uplifted, I'm just going to go with Assad by Lattafa. It is simply everything you might want in a very fresh, uplifting, masculine leaning fragrance, you know, blue masculine fragrance. I would say go for Assad by, you know, Lattafa. It's like an oldie. Everybody seems to love this one. It's very mass appealing. If you have this and then Attic by Junaid, you are good to go. You might not necessarily even need any other thing, you know, because if you want something for date night, Attic is going to be it. If you want something for every day, Assad is going to be it. In my opinion, they are affordable but also not boring at all. You don't need to start your fragrance journey with like very expensive fragrances that you regret buying, or you might not have like a lot of uses from. These fragrances seem to be quite mass appealing. They don't come across as, you know, ultra beast mode offensive to me in any way. I have tried and tested all these fragrances for quite a number of months at least, and I, you know, stand by them. I really stand by them. So let me know what you think. Have you tried any of them as a starter or as a newbie to fragrances? I also have a video that I did earlier about the same topic. I still find that video very relevant. If you have not seen it, I'll link it in the description for you to check out. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.